done to my car and the new things that I've done to my car that you guys haven't seen yet, like the Cobb Intake and the access port, or Cobb Stage 1 Plus, whatever you want to call it, and also the Thule Roof-Rack, which you guys may have seen in a couple of our videos. We never really talked about it, and the bike racks for the Thule Roof-Rack. So, first of all, we'll start at the front of my car, I guess. First thing I have done to it is the HT Autos Lip V2, and I like it quite a bit. We've hit a couple curves with it and ripped it off on this side. We cracked it nicely because I was actually driving on this highway in Edmonton called the Henday, and some guy in a F-150 threw a football out of his window, and I kid you not, threw a football out of his window, hit my front lip, and then it ripped off. So when I got to my destination, it was hanging on the ground. So I had a screwdriver in the back of my car, luckily. I had to take it off and then throw it in the back, and when I got home, we fixed it up. You can clearly see it's still cracked, but we did the best job we can to make it not. Unless you look up close, you can't really tell. Okay, and then we'll do the engine, I guess. Nothing power-wise. Only power thing we have done, if you want to call it that, is the Cobb Intake. And just aesthetic, we took the stock intake, painted it blue, which this blue is quite ugly in my opinion. I think we're gonna paint it a darker blue in the future. I have the Torque Solutions pulley cover, which gets rid of the stock engine mount, which is like this big plastic thing that's really ugly as hell. And I got the CB Speed brake fluid cover to cover up, start getting rid of some of these ugly yellow caps that are in the engine bin. And I have the front hood of the car 3M wrapped. Haven't done the bumper yet. Hopefully gonna, actually just got some paint touch up. I'm gonna touch up the rock chips in the front and then 3M the front bumper. Moving back, we have valve covers. No, those aren't, never mind. Those aren't actual mods. I did a little DIY lower mirror wrap in carbon fiber, which actually turned out really well. I did the black and white WRX side emblem change, and then next we have the first thing I ever did to the car. Ordered these before I even had the car, ordered them off the internet. I had the Rock Blocks regular length mud flaps, which I think one of the best mods that I've done to the car. It just gives it such a good look, and it also protects the fenders and rocker panel from like rocks and everything.
It even makes the car look a little wider.
Yeah, no, I really do like what it did there. And then, so now we have the Thule Roof-Rack. So I went with the square style bars rather than the wider like bars, because I thought, in my opinion, I think they look better, and they probably weigh less, but who really cares, because this thing adds like 50 pounds. And then we got the Thule sidearm bike rack, which I've brought my bike and a couple of my friends' bikes around quite a bit with them, and they seem to work quite well. It is kind of awkward to put them up on the top of the car, but they do get the job done. Moving towards the back, we have the HT Autos rear splats, which I think really changed the back end of the car, because stock back end of this car looks kind of just like a Impreza or nothing crazy. When you put those on, it really starts to give it more of a mean look. Obviously, we have the nameless axle back exhaust, which is the second thing I ever did to the car. Makes the car sound unbelievable, and anyone who has a stock 15 to 18 WRX needs to get this mod, because it makes it sound so much better.
Best $300 you'll ever spend.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you're in Canada, it's going to be like 500 because plus shipping and taxes and all that. Okay, next thing, we have the Subi Speed Journey flap. Or all it really does is, if you have the Sport or the Premium or Sport Tech, depending on where you live, what it's called, it's like a 3M. All it is, it sticks onto the existing trunk spoiler, and it gives it a nice little kind of duckbill action, which I think looks good. Then next thing, we have the Cobb license plate cover, which came free with my Cobb Intake, which is just a little thing. I have the blacked out Subaru and WRX emblems, and there was originally a all-wheel drive badge. It was under, I forget which side it was on. It was an all-wheel drive badge. It was underneath one of them, but it didn't really look that good, so I took it off like literally the day after I bought the car. And then exterior wise, that's about it. Coming to the interior, we have a Cobb sticker. This sticker adds 15 horsepower. Come to the inside, we have a Cobb access port, obviously, with a blue faceplate, and then a Subi Speed blue anodized e-brake cover, and that pretty well does it all. So we'll go for a little drive and I'll let you guys know what I think about how it drives after what I've done to it so far. So, driving the car from stock, it's really not a whole lot different. I did the Cobb access port and intake, so stage 1 plus if you will, and really it makes it, you notice the power band is a lot smoother, because on the stock tune it really seems to fall off at around 5,500 RPM, but now on this tune, really if you go and rev it all the way up to 65, like right before redline, and you shift, just like really smooth, very smooth power band. And other than that, the access port adds launch control, obviously, which you just saw, and that gives it a nice, really, if you set it right. First, when I first got it, I didn't realize like how to set it properly, so I had it at 55 and I was just doing clutch dumps, which was really stupid. So then I figured out that if I set it to about 4 and I hold it there and I do a nice like quick smooth clutch release, then the takeoff is just perfect. And that's about it for performance wise. Oh, and it has the Cobb has the thing called flat foot shifting, so when you shift, all you have to do is keep your foot to the floor and it'll hold it at whatever RPM you set it at, so you don't have to take your foot off. But I don't recommend doing that a lot because it's not very good for the car. And yeah, that pretty well does it for this video, so tune in next time at Chico's Garage. Also, one thing I forgot to mention about what the Cobb access port does is it has stock, the car has very bad rev hang between shifts, so if you try to shift like real quick, your revs will stay and you'll jump off the clutch and they'll be a bit jerky. So like with the Cobb access port, the revs drop much faster, so when you're driving it hard, it's really easy to get clean shifts. And also the access port has a little feature that times 0 to 60, so if you're in Mexico or on an enclosed strip, it's very easy to test your 0 to 60, and we timed it with that compared to the phone in Mexico, and it seemed to work very accurately.